Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to completely cut through all that noisy, contradictory diet advice out there to decode the sweet traps that are hiding right in plain sight. Using hard clinical nutrition data, we're going to revolutionize how you look at the food on your plate.
So, here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover 1. The sweet trap myths, 2. The low sugar crisis, 3. The fake blood-lowering foods, 4. Staple food conversions, and 5. The fruit-sugar paradox. Let's dive right in.
Section 1. The sweet trap myths. Does sugar directly cause diabetes? So, does eating sugar directly cause diabetes? It seems like a totally natural leap in logic, right? I mean, it's literally in the name of the disease. But that direct one-to-one equation is actually a massive myth. Eating a piece of candy doesn't just magically and instantly give you diabetes.
Here's the actual pipeline. Think of sugar as raw energy. When you consume it, but you're living a pretty sedentary lifestyle, all that excess energy gets stored, and that leads to obesity. And obesity, that is the true catalyst here. It blunts your insulin sensitivity, which causes severe insulin resistance. So avoiding sugar isn't going to save you if you're still over-consuming high-energy foods and, skipping out on exercise.
Moving on to Section 2, the low sugar crisis, the hidden danger. Listen to this quote from leading clinical nutrition expert Dr. Yu Kong. Low blood sugar is more dangerous than high blood sugar. Now, this completely goes against our standard conditioning, doesn't it? Patients become so obsessed with driving their metrics down that they actually risk an acute, immediate health crisis. 50. That's 50 milligrams per deciliter. That right there is the absolute red alert danger zone. Dropping below this doesn't just make you a little dizzy. It triggers fainting, irreversible brain damage, a coma, or even death. Medical experts cite this incredibly tragic case of an elderly Russian diabetic patient. He took his insulin, but then drank strong alcohol on an empty stomach. His blood sugar plummeted instantly. He collapsed in public, but bystanders just assumed he was dangerously intoxicated. Without getting immediate sugar, he slipped into a hypoglycemic coma and tragically passed away.
If you ever hit this low and feel a cold sweat or palpitations, you need to execute this emergency rescue protocol in seconds. Number 1, sit down immediately on the spot. Fainting while walking is a massive head trauma risk. Number 2, consume fast-acting sugar right now. We're talking fruit candy, a piece of chocolate, or sugar water. This is definitely not the time for slow-digesting complex carbs or proteins like meat or a steamed bun. You need sugar and you need it instantly.
All right, Section 3, the fake blood-lowering foods, pumpkin, honey, and miracle cures.
Let's set the record straight. The whole concept of a blood-lowering food is a pure dietary myth. Aside from plain water, pretty much all food contains energy, which means it's going to raise your blood sugar to some degree, period. Only actual medication and insulin actively pull elevated numbers down. So please, don't fall for those internet miracle foods. Sure, some might raise your sugar slower than others, but they absolutely do not lower it.
Take pumpkins and honey, for example. A rumor started spreading that pumpkins somehow cure high blood sugar just because a specific Japanese variant raised it slowly. That's completely false. Pumpkins are heavy in carbs and really should be capped at 200 grams a day. And honey, it is absolutely packed with fructose. If you're using it for digestion, you need to limit it to just 1/3 of a spoon in water. Neither of these is a free pass, folks.
Section 4, staple food conversions, visualizing your portions.
When your doctor prescribes 50 grams of a staple food, the raw-to-cooked conversion is where most diets completely fall apart. Take a look at this. 50 grams of raw rice absorbs water and expands to 130 grams when cooked, which is about one small bowl. On the flip side, 50 grams of raw meat shrinks down to just 35 grams cooked. For complex stuff like dumplings, the golden rule is 6 or 7 medium pieces equals roughly 50 grams of your staple equivalent. It's like a giant puzzle, but getting this visual math right is non-negotiable so you don't accidentally overeat or undereat.
Here's another really critical metric for you, 2.5. That is the absolute maximum number of tablespoons of vegetable oil allowed per day, which works out to about 25 grams. A lot of people just naturally assume vegetable oil is the harmless alternative to animal fat. But guess what? It packs 9,000 calories per kilogram. That is literally the exact same caloric density as lard. Overpouring your oil drives up your weight, which, as we established earlier, drives up insulin resistance.
Now, a super common but incredibly dangerous tactic is skipping meals entirely just to avoid taking medication. Do not do this. This starvation strategy totally ruins your nutritional baseline and causes these wild, unmanageable swings in your blood sugar. Measured meals and your prescribed medication are designed to work together as a team.
And finally, Section 5, the fruit-sugar paradox. As you're about to see, looks can definitely be deceiving.
We all naturally equate the taste of sweetness with a high sugar content, right? But that logic is actually fundamentally flawed. Watermelon tastes incredibly sweet, yet it's over 90% water. Its sugar content by weight is actually remarkably low. Meanwhile, dragon fruit tastes pretty mild and bland, yet it's highly concentrated and officially classified as a high-sugar fruit. So yeah, taste is entirely deceiving.
So here is your new grocery store cheat sheet. In the high sugar tier, you've got that bland dragon fruit sitting right next to lychees, bananas, pineapples, grapes, and dates. Generally speaking, those should be avoided. The medium sugar tier holds your standard everyday fruits like apples, pears, and oranges. But the real dietary heroes, they're down in the low sugar tier. Watermelon, kiwis, pomelos, and beautifully sweet strawberries.
But hey, low sugar doesn't mean an all-you-can-eat buffet. To enjoy fruit safely, you need to follow these 4 rules. 1. Ensure your post-meal blood sugar is actually stable, specifically under 200 milligrams per deciliter. 2. Never stack your carbs. Only eat fruit strictly between your meals, like at 10 a.m. or 3 p.m. 3. Portion control. We're talking 1 kiwi or 1 slice of watermelon. And 4. To balance the scales, just slightly reduce your staple food portion at your very next meal.
At the end of the day, proper dietary management isn't about living a miserable life of deprivation. It's really about arming yourself with precise visual math and biological science so you can actually enjoy your food safely. So, I'll leave you with this question. The next time you sit down for dinner, are you unknowingly walking into a sweet trap, or are you finally equipped to eat smart? Thanks for joining us for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.